You know, when it comes to a hazmat response, speed and accuracy are everything.
They say speed and power.
Well, yes, speed and power is a Clarkston Farm thing. You know, it definitely is. But speed and accuracy now, that's a 908 thing.
Yes, the little black box, and if you will, now the little red box as well.
Yeah, and it's why hazmat teams all over the world are trusting 908 devices. The MX908 and the Explorer IR, they're game changers within the community.
Right, the 908, that's the one of those few devices out there that can identify the Novichoks.
Yep, it can identify the Novichoks as well as all sorts of chemical warfare agents, pharmaceutical-based agents, drugs, explosives, and the key to all of this is the 908 can detect them at trace levels.
And that's awesome because I know that the Explorer can identify over 5,000 gases and vapors in seconds, and that is changing the game.
That's why hazmat teams all over the world going to 908 devices. You guys can check them out at 908devices.com and upgrade your metering toolbox.
You know, we usually start up with like, hey, we got all these shows coming and everything. And today we actually have the show coming on.
Yeah, we got, and there's nothing going on because there's no show. But oh my God, 471. We're less than 30 episodes to 500.
Right. And which we've been calculating this out is the 500th episode falls on Friday the 13th. Of the International Association of Fire Chiefs in Baltimore Conference 2025.
Yeah, so we're thinking we're going to do.
We started our show 10 years in advance for that slow burn drop there.
That was the longest calculation we have ever had to do. You want to talk
before
about
GPT.
Sniper precision? Oh, yeah, long before GPT. There's barely computers.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but we got a couple of new shirts coming out in the HMAF store.
Yes.
I don't want to allude to them yet, but they're going to be up in probably, I'm going to say a week or two. I'm just working on the final designs, and there'll be some funny stuff.
And if you're listening to this show shortly after it comes out, guys, there are some grant opportunities that are opened up. We've brought some grant writers in-house to help us help you. Hire us and help you, like it's kind of this back and forth thing, and that is going to be an ongoing thing. So if you're listening to this past the month of December 2024, there is ongoing funding opportunities. If you're interested in having us come out and teach you, but you're like, we don't really have the ability. Our grant writer isn't that great. Yada yada. Give us a ring. We'll schedule a call, and we will do everything we can to get you what you need.
Love it. Well, without further ado, let's bring on our pal, Jake. Here he is. Look at him.
Hey.
There's Jake. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. It looks like he's on set in his own show. I love it.
I am. Yeah, I'm hiding out. Yeah.
He's on the other side of this wall right here. That's where he is.
Right. Hold on. I don't want to hit him if I reach too far.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in the basement. It looks like I'm more in the cellar. You're in the upper level.
That's right.
I love it.
Right. Looking for your stapler.
So we've been talking about your show. Well, what are you up to? Episode 6 as of this recording?
6 came out just a couple of days ago, and then I'm already recorded up to 10. So yeah, it's great. We're having a great time.
Unbelievable.
So, tell me about the show. Like I've been relatively hands off with this project. Don't know too much about it. So fill me in. Like, what are you doing?
So the concept of the show is the idea that asking questions is good. And if you can point the questions, even if they're stupid, at the right people, you can get some pretty good results. And you know, ultimately the goal is to have interesting conversations with interesting people, you know, in and around the world of emergency response. You know, we've kind of built this Hazmat Guys empire on hazmat, but we know that the people that are engaged in hazmat are involved in all sorts of different emergency response types. And so now I'm not just going to talk hazmat every week. I've talked to, toxicologists. I've talked to film directors and firefighters, and it's just this range of, I'm a 32-year-old fireman. Who do I find interesting? And then we find people to meet that topic, and it's been fun. It's been I cautiously call it Joe Rogan for firemen. Joe Rogan's just this simple man who talks to interesting people, and that's kind of who I am. These people that I bring on are a lot more impressive than I am, and so I just hope to kind of squeeze their brains for a little bit of knowledge along the way.
So you've done almost 10 episodes already. Have there been guests where you were like, oh man, that brought nothing to the table, like as far as hazmat are concerned? Or
I think he's on that one right now.
Or have you been able to find threads from all these different professions and organizations that bring something to the table?
Yeah, I think for sure. And I think the process of, finding the guests, generally for me, it starts with a question. It's like, well, what do I want to know? And then I find the person that matches that, that can speak to that thing that I want to know about. And so, these are curated. These are not random people that I've found conversation with. These are like, I want to know about something. How do I find the best person I can to talk about that particular subject? So like, this is very much a curated podcast. This is not a random step up to the plate kind of thing. So the people that I have on are coming on with a purpose to talk about the things that I, want to know about. And hopefully the listeners want to know about it too. That's the hope.
How do you find them?
Oh my gosh, it has been everything from cold calling people to like finding a phone number online and cold calling people to messaging on various social media platforms. My wife now is helping me too. She likes the Nancy Drew aspect. She's a big puzzle solver. So it's like, hey, I want to talk to this person from this thing. Yeah. I want to talk to this person from this place. And she's like, I'm on it. And she's online searching stuff. I'll give a little sneak peek to our Christmas special that's going to come out on Christmas Day, and I wanted to interview Santa Claus, and that's problematic as you can imagine, and so we went through this process and found this gentleman who might be the most fascinating person I've ever found to exist, and
so hurtful.
Slightly more fascinating than Mike, so. He worked for the NYPD. He worked for FEMA and counterterrorism, retired, moved to North Pole, Alaska, and legally changed his name to Santa Claus. Now he works. Yes, this is real. Okay. And so he now he spends his days working with charities for children and all these things, and he's the most interesting person I've ever encountered, and I get an opportunity, and there's a couple of days here to interview him, and I can't wait. And so that episode is going to come out on Christmas Day, and I literally don't know more than anything, I'm excited to do the kind of the social media push leading up to it, where it says Hazard Class presents an interview with Santa Claus. Yeah, and it's real. And so
that's so cool.
In getting Santa Claus on the podcast, I couldn't find any contact information for this person. I found an article about him. I was like, this is the most interesting person I've ever thought of. My wife went through city council records for this city and eventually found his phone number and cold called him, and was like, hello, Santa Claus. Will you be on my husband's podcast? And we're up in my office just losing our minds. Like, oh my gosh, you're talking to Santa Claus. My kids run up the stairs. No, they do. They run up the stairs and they were like, what is all the commotion? And I'm like, Dad just got Santa Claus to be on the podcast. And my daughter's like, no way. Blah, blah, blah.
It makes me, how old is she? Just so
she's going to be 9 in February, but
okay.
It's right. But she's actually 21. Yeah, and she still believes in Santa. Yeah. We run a tight ship in the Rick's house. But it's been a journey, and it's fun. It's as a curious person, I enjoy the process of finding things to be curious about.
Yeah.
So the opportunity and the platform and the connections I have through the fire service and through you guys, I've really been able to make some links with some people that I'm shocked that I've been able to get in contact with, and they just keep pouring in, and I just have all these interesting people to talk to. And those who know me well know that I'm known to talk too much. So now I finally get to do it. I finally get a reason to do it that isn't annoying to anyone, hopefully.
Dude, I watched the one, and I think it was episode 2, because it was the guy that made that video, the director.
Oh, that
was really interesting.
Yeah, that was episode 4 with Tom Putnam. He's the director of the documentary Burn, which is like, pretty much the staple documentary in firefighting. And he followed Detroit firefighters for a year and documented their struggles and their journeys. And he had some pretty interesting things happen. But yeah, the opportunity, this is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. And that was another, send him an email. Maybe he'll email me back. And he was willing to do it. And he has a new documentary coming out next year called Into the Unknown, in which he follows paramedics across the country, 5 different agencies. And he sent me a screener. I was able to watch it. It's amazing. But yeah, the opportunity to, meet people like that, when would I ever have the opportunity to meet the director of, this movie that I love, and I get to interview him and pick his brain. Yeah, it's been great.
All right. So give me, as a curious person who's looking for questions to answers that you may not even know that those are questions that you want answered, give me, so far you've done about 10 episodes. Give me 3 things that you have learned in this process.
So the one is people's willingness to talk about themselves, and that's not in a conceited way, but when you reach out to someone and say, I'm passionate about what you do, will you be passionate back? And the willingness for these guests to give up their time for this show and have an interesting conversation with me as it actually affected me, just in my life in general. People's openness to talk is great. A tangible piece actually comes from my episode 1 with Bobby, and he talked about this concept of dividing your he's my boss. I have to say it. I'm sorry. But he talked about this idea of dividing your social circles so that you have a group of people that you're mentoring, a group of people that you're being mentored by, and a group of people that are your peers to. And this is kind of become a weird core tenet of mine. I've preached this message. That episode was shot a couple months ago, and I've told that to multiple people since then. Yeah. And I've really tried to drive that home in my own life to say I need to not only have people that I'm trying to bring up, but also have people that I can look towards to be brought up by. And then, the last one is just my conversation with Dennis Laguerre. I talked to him on episode 2, and he's just the engine company master for the world, really. And, the deep dive that he was able to give me on product specific information and, job specific information that where am I going to find this? There's no textbook that has stuff like that. So now the availability to talk to someone that's really truly the expert of experts, and then take that information, put it into my own Rolodex in my brain, and be able to help other people with that information, and hopefully have the listeners pick up this kind of stuff and do the same thing too, right? I try to truly be just a voice piece for the audience, right? What are the questions that the everyman? I am the everyman, right? Look at me. Right. I am the everyman. Let me ask the questions that all of us rubes want to know, right? When we talk to the smartest people. And that's where we get that phrase, right? The tagline of the podcast is ask stupid questions to smart people. And that's really the root of it, right? I'm just going to bring a humbleness and a willingness to maybe look foolish with my stupid questions to experts that can hopefully answer them and make me better for it.
Mike, I got a pop quiz for you.
You know what? Go for it, because I don't even study for regular quizzes.
You downrange, you have a variety of non-transparent and opaque containers. How do you tell if what's in it is something sus or not?
I would use small children. They react the fastest to chemical toxicology. Yes, I would.
Lightweight.
No. Lightweight, easy, portable. Very, very portable. No, obviously I'm going to use a freaking meter.
Okay, but which one? What's going to be able to see through a shipping envelope or something?
If I'm going to go from a shipping envelope, I'd have to say the Agilent's handheld ramen, the Resolve.
Nice choice. And it's fast. Less than 2 minutes is going to give you identities of explosives, narcotics, toxic industrial chemicals, chemical warfare agents, and more, and all through sealed, opaque containers.
You know, from a usability side, I'm a huge fan of this meter. The simple interface, the big buttons, I can navigate this thing with my hands in gloves and PPE. It's tough, so when I drop it and when I put it in water, when I submerge it, when I vibrate it, it's all resistant to those things, and it can survive the decon line, which honestly is one of the most important factors for a hazmat technician.
And for those super sketchy, samples, you may have to take advantage of the remote control through the removable Wi-Fi connectivity.
And for super sketchy situations, you can use the flexible onboard library, and you can actually create and deploy your own library, which we have done in the past for a wide range of substances.
So if you're evaluating different Raman spectroscopy instruments, you should check out the report from New Steel. They recently evaluated 10 handheld Raman spectroscopy units, and the Agilent Resolve received the highest score of all the instruments. You can check it out, explore.agilent.com/resolve, and that page will have a link to the independent New Steel report. I love it.
You know, one of the things I've always found in that method, that let me ask the very basic question. You open yourself up to that level of vulnerability where you're saying, I know nothing, teach me from scratch. And even in things that we think we know well, to be able to have somebody start from scratch as if you know nothing, as if you are a child. I don't think there's a single conversation I've ever had where I haven't walked away learning more of the basics because I made myself vulnerable and said, teach me from scratch.
Well, and that's really the benefit of talking to real experts, like real experts, is that, Bobby talked about it in our episode, and you've talked about it before, but like instructors are experts because they can pitch the ball in 10 different ways. And so like hearing the way you might explain something versus the way Bob might explain versus another, person in your field, you're learning a different angle to approach a problem. And as you do that, your depth of knowledge in that particular, subject just grows and grows and grows because you can see it from every angle, not just the angle you're used to seeing it from,
And not just the final destination, but the thought process and how that person got there. That thought process is so important. It's really important in the classroom too, that the same answer, you have somebody give how did you get to that conclusion? Because you can have multiple students come up with the same answer, but their reasoning is completely different. One person's reasoning can be totally wrong, but he ended up getting to the right answer, and then somebody else has a reasonable path to get there. I think that's such an important part of instructing. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, and when you kind of break down the pathway to get to an answer, you can also find the pitfalls in that pathway too, right? By asking the really simple question and having them paint the picture all the way out to the end, you watch the pathway and you go, oh, I thought it was this, but it's that. And I might have understood it in totality, but I missed this one piece that was early on. Because, how many people that, claim to know a subject really well, once they're at the end, go back to the beginning and look at these basic questions again and go, oh man, I went to the Fire Academy 16 years ago. When's the last time I looked at this thing or that thing? And now you look at it from the ground floor and you have a whole new open eyes to it,
Well, dude, one of the things that I noticed in watching, I don't remember which one is, and you said this a bit back, is that you're passionate about what they're passionate about. And I think it was specifically the director guy, because I'm sure I've seen, interviews with directors and they're very I made a avant-garde piece, and he's very, but he was because you were just I am genuinely interested. And he was well, then I'm going to tell you everything I know about. And it was just the guy was in the moment. And I think the first thing, and one of the funniest things that you do is the opening salvo, if you would, is you have this this freaking wheel that you spin and you're like, I don't know what's going to come up. It's just the stupid question. And it's like, what was it with me? It was like, is a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog a sandwich, yeah. That's still hot a debate. I get texts and messages and stuff about like this hot dog is a sandwich. We've done a bunch of questions since, but man, that is a controversial subject.
How is it a controversial subject? Of course, a hot dog is a sandwich.
I've heard open. It's open faced. If you ask Bob, if you ask my brother, it's an American taco. Like that's what he said.
Still, whether it's open face or closed face, both of those end with sandwich.
That's fair. You know, and now we're getting to semantics, I think, but I don't know. But no, the wheel has been fun. Yeah, it's kind of a dumb bit that I came up with just to kind of drive home this idea that like, if I'm willing to ask, you know, so a perfect example, I had one of the top medical toxicologists that specializes in the fire service on the podcast that comes out next week. And I had to ask him, what did I ask him? I asked him like, who would win in a fight, a gorilla or like a bear? And I'm like, man, how dumb do I sound right now? This guy's like, I took time out of my day to talk to this guy. And now I'm talking about who's going to win in a fight. But what it does is it says, I'm willing to humble myself, look stupid for the sake of knowledge. And that's the hope of the podcast, right? And the stupid wheel is just a medium to drive home that point, you know.
Do you make them justify their answer?
I do, yeah.
You do.
And that's came with more or less success. Sometimes people are like, I don't want to talk about that. And then I'm like, all right, I guess we'll move on because this is a nightmare. You know, it is... It definitely puts you.
I definitely don't want to ask you the questions because I want them to go and listen to these shows because I'm going to go back. I don't think I did. What did you release up to 6 already? I think I've listened to 4 of them already.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, man, you spin that wheel. It's a real wheel. Like for the people watching, it's a wheel. It's a wheel. You spin.
Do the
you
questions
spin
change, or is it the same solid question?
No, there's like 25 questions on this wheel, and you spin it. But I tell you, I really spin it. I really read what lands on, and I've had moments when my stomach just dropped. Like I'm about to ask this doctor the stupidest question of all time. How am I going to get this interview back on the tracks after I completely derail it with this nightmare? But
all right,
no.
Throw one question at Mike. Spin the wheel.
Let's go.
And give
Let's
him
do
one
it.
question.
Right, because I don't think we had the wheel.
Oh my gosh. Well, I got as a hot dog a sandwich. Let me find a different one. I don't want to give you one we already had. All right. How many holes does a straw have?
1 hole.
Wrong. 2 holes.
No, it's 1 hole. It's one continuous. It is one continuous hole.
If I were to hold a straw, go ahead.
If I punch a hole in a piece of paper, there's 1 hole in that paper. Just because I'm looking at it from the bottom and looking at it from the top, from a surface topography point of view, that is still a single hole.
But now we've built depth in the hole, and so if I'm holding,
are you saying there's no depth in paper? Like it may be thin, but there's still depth.
If I hold a straw in the sky, could I say the top hole or the bottom hole, and you would know what that meant?
Well, yes, but you could say the same thing with any hole. Any hole is in a 3-dimensional structure.
I'm just saying.
It's still a hole.
I'm just saying.
Got 2 in front of me.
I'm just saying it's not so cut and dry.
No, I'm dying on this hill. I think it's very cut and dry. I think from a topography point of view, we live in a 3-dimensional world. Every hole has a surface on one side and a surface that it penetrates on the other.
So is a tunnel a hole? Is a tunnel one hole?
Yes, so it would be 1 hole. What, you got 2 holes?
Well, what if you're standing on the edge?
Come back to an episode of this.
Yeah. What if you stand on the edge of a tunnel and then it's a mile long and you say, okay, I'm going to go into the hole, which is the entrance of the tunnel. Now you go to the other side and then you say, I'm going to go into the hole, which is the entrance of the tunnel. Those seem like 2 separate holes to me.
But they're not. They may seem like it, but a lot of things in life that seem like it is actually is not. It's like
I just had a great idea. I'm going to wait until we're offline on this.
Oh, man.
Have you ever seen a Mosby strip?
No. What? If
I took a piece of paper like this and I just ripped apart my notes, right, and I fold it like this, how many sides does it have?
Okay. Well, now we're talking like advanced geometry.
Right. If I twist this, it turns out that this structure only has one side. It's called a Mosby strip.
You see, this is why I ask stupid questions to smart people and not other idiots like me who just think that there's an endless amount of holes in every structure. I don't know. Right? All right, I concede you're smarter. I don't know. It seemed like 2 holes. I'm my bad.
I love this. You know, the whole concept is I like a different flavor of show, and the fact that it's not purely hazmat, it's a all hazard. It's something that is, I don't know. I don't want to say Rogan-esque, but it's very open ended, where it's just the conversation. It's different.
Yeah, and as I continue to book guests, I think it will get broader because my confidence level in talking to other people, I can talk fire department all day long, right till my eyes bleed. Right. I will drop another hint. I'm in the process of booking a Top Gun pilot, which is a long process, but I'm very excited for. Yeah, that's not emergency response, but I want to talk to them. So suck it. I don't know. I want to talk to them. Right. That's it.
Is it going to be Maverick?
It will be Tom Cruise. That's what's taking so long.
You should get Goose, and it's just and just a silent microphone,
like Weekend at Bernie's, and then I can have you trying to move his mouth. Too soon, honestly. I'm still traumatized from Goose's death. But it's like there's all these different opportunities to talk to just fascinating people, and like I said, I'm a 32-year-old fireman, and I have interests, and I think that a lot of the fire service, I've traveled across the country speaking and talking and going to classes, and it seems like we're all pretty similar. So I think that if I find them interesting, I hope the audience is going to feel the same way.
I agree. I think it's going to be. I think you're going to blow up. I think check them out onto your social media and all that stuff. I don't even know it. All right. So where are you?
Everywhere.
Instagram?
I am everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, every major streaming platform for podcasts. The video is available only on YouTube. I might be putting on Spotify video right now. I'm debating it, but right now it's exclusively on YouTube for video. But yeah, it's where you search Hazard Class, you will find it. Unless I made some grave mistake, which I could because I'm stupid, but it should be there, yeah. But yeah, I'm just excited, and I hope that people will come and find the same passion for these conversations that I have, and because I've really been enjoying the process of talking to these interesting people.
I would love to say, I would say like anybody on this show that knows somebody that's atypical, and I don't want to say that because there's a lot of weirdos in our service. Yeah, how about somebody that is not a normal interview person, somebody that would fit into this? Send him an email. Yeah, for sure. Jake at hazardclass.com with a hyphen in between hazard and class. And I would love it. Yeah, I've found a couple people through solicitation like that, and they've been super awesome guests. And so, I want to talk to interesting people. I want to hear people's stories, and everyone, I think that's another thing that I've kind of learned through this is that, everyone is a person that's an actual real person behind the scenes. And, we're not just all robots. You could be the expert of this or that in your field, but at the end of the day, we all put our shoes on, we all put our pants on, we're all normal people. And I think everyone has an interesting story to tell. I love it. Well, good luck to you. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you very soon.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.
All right.